1 out of 64 chance of becoming the champion.
Living in the magic.
LG Cinema 3D Super Tournament.
The spell you cast. A nightmare every
The champion. I am MVP. OGSMC. I am Nesty. TSL Fruit Dealer. Upcoming star. I am Nocira. Startail Bomber. Flair's MMA. And MVP King. Starcraft Legend. Flair's Boxer. OGS Nada. Startail July. 4-star. Liquid General. Liquid Hawk. 27 days of full epic game shown by the top 64 players. The wall between Code S and Code A has fallen. Who will survive and become the first champion of the competitive Super Tournament? Cinema 3D Super Tournament.
Come on, baby. Bounce, bounce. Come on, baby. I don't care about a thing as long as I get to you. 'Cause I like your back, that smack, and that is all that I wanna do to you.
Greetings from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to the GSL Super Tournament. I'm Tasteless, and with me is Artosis. And we missed you guys. It's been a little while.
It has been so long. I'm
Yeah.
just all smiling, giggly. I'm like, I'm finally back with Tasteless Castles Games.
I have. I'm gonna be a little bit rusty. I got to get back in the zone here. I have not gone this long not casting StarCraft in a while. Artosis. This is the first GSL Super Tournament. We're taking, a big array of players, from the Team League, from from Code A, Code S, putting them together here, and just making it, a big all-man brawl.
That is exactly what it is.
That's what we're doing.
Tasteless. It kind
I don't
of
want
is-
to fight about it anymore, all right? Just accept that that's what it is.
All right,
okay?
agree to disagree,
All right.
or in this case, agree to agree.
All right.
It's much like the first 3 GSLs we had. It's just kind of a ton of players, a gigantic bracket, and let's go.
Yeah. So, I have no idea who's going to get farther in this. Some of these players we see in the team leagues have had a considerable amount of success, taking out some of the people that are champions in GSL Code S. So, I'm not sure what exactly our finals is going to look like, but I think it's going to be
Yeah.
a little bit more diverse.
You know what's kind of exciting is there are some players in this tournament that did not make it into Code S, but really should be in Code S.
Yeah.
There are some players like that.
Well, the problem with Code S is actually it can only fit a certain number of people, and frankly, it's so
in fact,
competitive now.
that
down
number's
here.
32.
Yeah, that's the magic number. And because of that, we have some of these people that it feels like they are Code S material. Maybe if they had faced off against, different players, if history looked
Certainly.
a little bit differently, maybe we would see them in Code S. But here they have a chance to win the Super Tournament. Again, this is kind of a unique tournament that we're doing here. It's very exciting, and I'm really looking forward to casting these games for you guys. Artosis, for our first matchup today, we got MVP against Creator. What is your take on this?
Well, I mean, it's MVP, 2-time champion against Creator. I'm thinking MVP may be able to pull this one out, Tasteless.
Call me crazy. We do call MVP the Game Genie Terran. Although I think he sort of teetered away a little bit from being undefeatable, unstoppable so much as we saw.
He's no longer unbeatable, but
Right.
still an
Still.
amazingly talented player.
This guy lost in a pretty big upset, went down to Code A. Of course, rocketed through Code A.
Yeah, second place in that.
Second place in that. And, it's good to see him here in the tournament. MVP also, I think, one of the most popular players internationally. This guy's playstyle. He has more openers, more build orders than any Terran I've seen. I mean, you compare him to somebody like Lin, and don't get me wrong, Lin's a great guy, amazing Warcraft 3 pro.
But guess what he's opening with?
Tech Labs on a barracks.
That's it, man. You're going to play against Lin, you may as well just make your Stargate.
Right.
Just make it, because he's making Marauders.
So, in a case like this, MVP, I think for most of our viewers and people that are trying to, learn and become better, whether it's just,
Yeah, if you're going to emulate a Terran, if you
MVP is the
are
best.
sitting at home and you're like, I want to be the best, right? It's a difference between wanting to be the best and wanting to be really good. You want to be really good?
Right.
Copy Lin. You want to be the best? Copy MVP.
Exactly. Now, over here, we're going to show you guys our tournament format.
Well, top 64 players with the highest 2011 GSL point ranking total compete. The prize money, of course, first place, 100 million Korean won. That is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, man.
That is like 90,000 US dollars.
I think a little bit more, depending on the exchange rate.
Oh boy.
And now we're going to throw the schedule up on here for you guys.
Runner up gets 30K.
So as you can see, for our first week, it's basically going to be a lot of a round of 64 here into the second week. By Thursday, we'll be halfway through round of 32, and by Tuesday, we'll be completed with that. Of course, round of 16 and round of 8 tend to go by pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because, of course, we can compact those all into one day. Semi-final, and, by the time we're at the 19th of Saturdays, we will be at the final. We have not announced the finals location yet. So, when we have that information ready for you guys, we'll let you know. Of course, you are welcome to come out to our studio here. It is free. Just walk in, come by, say hi to Taste on Our Toast, give you a high five. Sometimes we got guys, they come in here, they kind of see us, they kind of scuffle around, you know what I mean? They're not sure if they can come and say hi to us. You can just come up and say hello, feel free to.
Yeah.
And, at the
We're
finals,
pretty busy
of course,
before the shows.
Yeah, we're a little busy, but we're happy to shake your hand, give you a high five. Maybe a terrorist fist jab, something like that.
What?
Oh, you don't know about that? Oh, I don't know if you followed the election cycle last season. Never mind. I'll tell you after the show. It'll be funny. Moving on now. We are going to have, I think a pretty exciting Terran versus Terran to start this off.
Well, Terran versus Protoss.
Terran versus Protoss. Excuse me. I was testing you. Well done. You passed the first test. A little rusty here. I haven't casted in a few days. No, but it's going to be a pretty exciting series here. We actually are now having some technical problems, so we're going to have to keep talking a little bit longer.
It's good. I want to talk. I
want to talk, too.
Well, I've gotten to talk to you plenty, but not on a camera.
Yeah.
Tasteless thought it was a little bit weird. I brought a camera over his house. I'm like, hey, man, let's talk. He's like, yeah, man, let's talk. And I started setting up my camera, and he was like, what are you doing?
We have a lot of fun.
I just want to do it in front of a camera.
I have just as much fun talking in front of a camera as I do not talking in front of a camera with you, Artosis. We just have fun all the time.
Well, that is just
basically
awesome.
Artosis and Tasteless talking when we're not in front of a camera. Just imagine a lot of expletives. It's a lot more cursing.
It's this
in there.
plus more cursing.
It's just this with cursing.
Yeah.
But we're trying to stay a little classier here. So that's what we're doing. All right. Again, going up to the brackets now. We're going to throw up some more graphics for you guys so we get this game up and running.
All right. As you see, MVP versus Creator, and then we have Gonzi against the Butterfly Effect. And we're going to be having Czech versus Supernova and MMA against Lin. Some pretty interesting matches here. I think Czech Supernova is going to be a very close match. I actually can't quite predict that one.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
But for
Czech is such a dark horse in the way
Czech
he plays.
He's odd. And the thing is, Supernova, TVP godly, but his TVZ, I think it's probably about even with Czech's ZVT. I think it might be a little bit better, but that's all.
Now on to the other side of the bracket. As you can see, we have Trickster. That's
Soki
Su, against Yu-Gi-Oh! The Best against Jun. Genius against Boxer, Min against July, Hongun against Moon, Revival against Ensnare, Brute Dealer against Ace. That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
And Squirrel against Ring.
That could be
pretty
good.
An exciting day.
Yeah, that is, isn't it?
And we're going to Group C. You do it, Artosis. You
Clyde
do it so well.
and Rainbow, Alive and Leenock. We could see a round of 32 rematch, Clyde versus Leenock. That would be awesome. Byun is going to play Legal Mind. Alicia against MC. Oh, I love Alicia, man.
Oh, yeah. Great player.
Yeah. SC against Hyperdub. Maka, Noblesse. In fact, Noblesse, if I'm not mistaken, eliminated Maka from Code. Then Polt versus Lucira, and Huck against San. Woo! Huck has got a PvP against San. That's his worst matchup.
Going on to Group D, we got Jinro against Line, Kyrix against Bonbons, Junwei against Virus, Coca against Nada, the Renaissance Nerd. We have Top against August, Zenio against Boyu. Well, we know what clade he's in. We have Killer against Bomber, and Suzanne against Nesty. That is an exciting bottom right part of that bracket. So, to summarize today's games, as you can see, it's going to be TVP, I'm MVP against Creator. Then we're going to have Slayer's Ganji against Butterfly Effect, Terran vs. Terran. ZVT Czech, Prime against OGS Supernova, and MMA after that against Foxland. So if you're a Terran player, today is learning day. Get your pen and paper out. I want you guys taking notes.
Hopefully.
There will be a quiz at the end of this event. All right.
Will there?
What did you learn? Yeah. I can say that kind of stuff. They can't stop me.
Yeah.
I can just,
At the end, there's no quiz.
No, I studied. But they'll be getting better, improving their ladder games. Whether you're bronze, whether you're masters, you can learn from watching these guys. What I love about a competitive StarCraft, here at the GSL is that StarCraft it's not just, a simple little game. It's so complicated. It's easily one of the toughest, mind sports to date. In fact, I would say the toughest.
You're like one of the toughest. I like punch you right here.
I'm so sorry.
It's like all this evidence. Everyone on the internet's seen it.
No, actually, whenever we point out that StarCraft is harder than chess, the internet goes crazy.
No.
StarCraft actually is harder than chess.
I've actually had people ask me in
it's
interview, like,
older.
did
I'm
you
like,
mean
that is a moot point.
Yeah, no, that actually,
It's like
I don't care.
The older the game is, it doesn't make it harder.
Care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
This is my care face.
Because
this is the face I make when I care.
No, this is much harder than chess. It's much better than The Legend of Zelda. This is StarCraft.
What was up with that when StarCraft lost to Legend of Zelda?
Well, that's like this comic joke of the internet. Like all these
I know.
nerds
Well, those guys
voted for
they're
Legend of
poser
Zelda.
nerds is what they are.
They're like, no, I've
They're
spent
like,
30 hours of my life on that
I've played 3
game.
different video games in my life. Yeah, I've had it with those guys.
Unless those games are StarCraft, StarCraft Brood War, and StarCraft 2, you don't know what you're missing.
You don't know what you're talking about. It looks like our players are now ready. They're in the game. So whenever our Korean commentators are ready, we're going to go ahead and get this game started. Of course, we're here in Seoul, Korea. It's the mecca of esports. Really exciting, to be here casting this new tournament. And by the way, this prize pool is off the hook.
It is.
This is so much
big.
money.
For a 1-month tournament.
That's so much money. I want that. But I got to cast these games. They lucked out. Too bad I'm not in these games.
Yeah.
So, moving on to our players here. Everybody knows about this guy. It's IM MVP. Very, very talented player. I would say basically the best Terran in Korea. Probably best Terran in the world. I don't think most people can really disagree with that.
No, he recently only 5-5, but that's fine.
Well,
very
considering how far
intense
he's
look
gotten
on
in
his
tournaments.
face right there, Tasteless.
Yeah, that is actually the best blue steel face from Zoolander
It
I have
looks
ever
like
seen.
he's trying to make a balloon pop by looking at it. I don't know.
And here he is now. Getting focused.
Much more relaxed there than in the photo.
Yep. Very nice guy, actually, to talk to up camera. Very friendly, charming.
He's super friendly.
And, of course, he's on Team IM, which is basically
The greatest.
the greatest team out there. They've got so many heavyweights.
Especially two-time champions. Out of the 7 championships GSL has given out, they have 4 of them. How funny is that?
That's actually insane.
That'll never happen
They
again.
basically have more than half of the championships.
They're like the old
Now,
Celtics.
Soon they'll be like the Yankees of esports. It's like, oh, man. Now, here we have our Protoss player, Creator Prime. Now, Prime is a very good team. Creator is a very good player, but of course he's going to be a little bit dwarfed here by somebody like MVP.
Yes. There's not a whole lot to say about him, as you can see. He just hasn't played as much.
Yeah.
He's not as experienced. He's new. And this would be huge for him to actually take out MVP here. Will he be able to do that?
I don't think so, but you never know. Upsets do occur. There are always new players coming up, taking out old kings.
Yes.
And, who knows? This could be the guy. He's a bit younger, a bit more nervous. And, that's understandable. Getting in that booth, it's a total different battle.
He does look a little bit nervous.
Yeah. Well, I would be too, man, if it's the games you carry.
Of course. You watch this guy win 2 championships. He probably thinks about this guy when he goes to bed and how he'd love to beat him on TV. And now this is his
Here's
chance.
his moment. Well, it's almost game time here, head-to-head, MVP and Creator. Now, sometimes we get players like, for instance, Baby from StarCraft 1 who actually can produce such results even at such a young age. Maybe we're going to see that here from Creator.
I don't know. We'll have to see, but we're going to have Zelnaga Fortress, Crevasse, and Tal'Darim Altar. Those are some good maps for some TVPs. Going to be very different games on all these maps. I really hope it gets to set 3.
Zelnaga Fortress is, I think, for me, one of the most frustrating maps to play on. It's very tricky.
Yeah, I don't even play this map very much at all.
It gives me stress.
It is a little bit.
About it. Getting jitters.
Yeah.
Can't cast this game stressed out. What are you doing, Artosis? All right, it's game time. Head-to-head MVP against Creator. And Tastosis is back. Taste and Artosis, the casting Archon, here to cast some awesome StarCraft 2 games for you guys here at the GSL Super Tournament here in Seoul, Korea. Let's do this.
I am MVP. versus Creator Prime Week.
It's
3D
time.
and Intel.
Over here, center right, we have champion of previous GSL Code S. This is
I am MVP.
This guy has won more GSL championships than his opponent has won GSL matches.
yeah, that's actually insane. And now down here to the bottom left,
Creator Prime Week.
He's going to have to create a great circumstance here
yeah.
for himself to take out MVP.
You know, the problem with facing off against MVP is he can do anything, he can play any play style.
Yeah.
He actually almost reminds me of some kind of Neo-Nada. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's like Nada, not quite as many muscles, you know.
Oh,
He could probably still, you know, put you in a headlock, choke you out, you know, but
Probably.
probably.
Not tasteless, but like a normal nerd.
No, not with my thick brontosaurus neck, Artosis. No, but you know,
I have more of a
seriously,
Diplodocus neck. Not quite as thick. Very
Yeah.
long, though.
But no, seriously, I mean, it's very difficult to prepare against somebody like MVP. And one
Well,
thing
yeah,
about MVP is he actually will change what he's going to do in the game if he sees you sort of deviating from the norm.
That's quite true. It's a very smart Terran. Now they're going to pass right there. Probably barely even looked at each other. Just looked forward, pretended that they were thinking very hardly about something in their head, so they didn't have to make eye contact. That's what I do when I pass someone in the street I don't want to look at. Just look
You know,
very
it gets
focused.
really
faces.
awkward when you're passing somebody on the street. You can bust out your cell phone and just pretend you're talking on it.
That's true.
That
or you
actually
can like
works.
be clicking on it and pretend you're looking at messages. But
Yeah.
back in the day when I'd be like jogging, you know, I don't really want to say hi to my neighbors or like nod to them. I just looked like I was so focused as I ran by them. That's how I did it, Tasteless.
That's
how
we
I
avoid
was.
social interaction.
Yeah.
That's how we maintain being socially awkward.
Well, that takes the awkwardness out of it,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Yeah.
As you can see, the SCV grazed by the Zealot.
Now-
Stalker on the way. We don't have a second gas yet here. I'm sorry, Toast, I keep running over you. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. You know what I do love? I do love that. Well, Creator's actually on this Silnaga Watchtower, which for some reason is counting down. I don't know if they changed something on this map where it's supposed to count down, but he's sending up a Zealot and the Stalker. What he's going to try to do is harass some of these Marines and maybe poke in and get a little bit of scouting done. Yeah, just a little bit. But Creator has gone for a one gateway expansion. Here we go. The Stalkers are coming up, Tasteless. It's about time for this Zealot to go up and get hit in the head with Gauss rifles.
Nice control there by MVP. He's only lost one Marine, and I think actually Creator might have wanted
Well,
to turn
Creator,
around.
he saw a lot with that, actually. He saw 3 barracks and the gas going up. He's going to know, okay.
Oh, excuse me. You know, you're totally right, Artosis. I was actually looking at the amount of units he lost.
Yeah, no,
But in
spending
fact,
a
seeing
Zealot,
those 3 barracks actually
Yeah.
just tells you right away what's going on.
completely worth 100 minerals. You know, he doesn't actually need that Zealot right now. You only need the Zealot if your opponent's going to go Marauders early. And he's scout out exactly what's going on. Creator's going to stall him out at the bottom of the ramp a little bit with those 2 Stalkers. Because, of course, they have bigger range and they're quicker than Marines, so you might go well against them. Getting his expansion up. It's a little bit of risky play from Creator, getting that quick 1-gate expansion, but very strong build overall. Looking quite good.
Yeah.
He's set himself up into a good location. Now, can he follow through with this?
You know, MVP is a player who tends to not kill his opponent right at the start, generally.
Generally not.
It's like usually
he'll
right
rush
in
you
the
if
middle.
he has to, but
yeah. Well, he's somebody who'll rush you to cripple you, not so much to kill you.
got a little Artosis pylon going on right there.
Oh,
Apparently, when I was playing one of those matches at 5 a.m. with my brain not
Over
working, I
NASL, yeah.
had one pylon powering all my buildings and it died or something, so now it's called an Artosis pylon.
that's how you've been immortalized?
Yeah, isn't that sad?
Well, I gotta say, because I actually respect you for even doing that, man.
Oh, look at that. It kills the Watchtower. I did not know that this was a change. So Creator has gotten rid of that Watchtower. That's actually really sad.
My watch
There's
tower.
no more Watchtower on this map, Tasteless. That is really interesting to me.
Marines and Marauders now moving out. The Zeldonga Watchtower's gone. And it's going to be a little bit of a scary thing for Protoss to move out on the map. They won't be able to spot and run away from Stim Marauders if they do move out.
Yeah. Now, MVP is coming down here. He has concussive shells. No stim for this battle. Only one Zealot for Creator, so he's going to have to be a little bit careful, but he has enough energy. Here we go.
Great
Good.
sniping. He's going to get that Zealot. Oh, no.
Oh, he's got to be very careful. There he goes, getting another Zealot warped in. Perfect. Just perfect warp-ins by Creator. Chases MVP away. He realizes, oh, my opponent has exactly what he needs to stop this.
And this is one ambitious Marauder. I don't know what he's thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. Oops.
Poor guy. He just wanted to get that MVP medal. The Purple Heart. The Purple Nerd Heart that MVP has because he ripped out a nerd's heart. Let it get blue.
Why is it purple? Is that just the blood?
Well, it's been out for a while, man.
Yeah, it's all
nasty and gross.
oxygenated.
Yeah, it's all oxygenated. People thought I was talking about a real metal. No, I'm talking about a nerd's heart.
An actual nerd's heart.
Yeah.
Tasteless doesn't talk about such nice things as a metal.
No.
He's too real for that.
Too real, man.
All right, so MVP, just very standard follow-up. He's got the 3 barracks going. He's getting his engineering bay up. He's getting ready to go reactor starport. And you know what I really like about Creator? He's pumped out a couple observers. One did get scanned, but another one's on the way. Now, if MVP scans this, that's going to be great because he's stopped at 2. He started his Colossus up.
Right.
And when you start that Colossus up, you want to keep them going non-stop. Because if you don't, your opponent switches over into Vikings and counters them quite easily.
Yeah, I mean, even losing just one observer and having to make another one. That's enough time.
It takes time, and then that's just not a situation you want to be in as Protoss. So it would be great for MVP to actually be able to get rid of that observer when he realizes it's around.
Now, as you can see here, it does look like we're going to continue to see two basing here. Two basing. In terms of Protoss, we've seen this before where both players sort of sit and power up. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes that can be a scary thing because you end up in an engagement where it all comes down to this one big battle.
Yeah.
And who gets the third base first, The guy that gets the third base first.
Normally it will be Terran.
Yeah.
Because, they're a little bit more mobile. As Protoss, when you're doing a build like this, you're going to want to have to be very careful because as soon as those first couple dropships poke out and your opponent starts dividing up his units against you, the small Protoss ball can be very weak when split in half.
And of course, if you do move out, that's 400 minerals you did not spend on additional units. Now we have a drop coming up here. Doesn't look like it's going to be a two-pronged attack. He doesn't know about the stargates rather. No, starports.
Creator doing a great job. Those very quick Colossi have helped him to split his army just right so that these drops are not going to affect him. Templar Archives going up. I love it.
So he's gonna get a much more well-rounded tech tree off 2 base.
Yeah, looks like he's gonna stop at 3 Colossus. But MVP already has 2 starports out. Looks like he's taking a page out of the Book of Thorazane, getting some extra Vikings extra fast, and that's kind of the new trend from Terran. I want to say that Thorazane started, but
I found that Thorazane is
awesome.
actually the name of a medication. It's an antipsychotic.
That's awesome.
It's awesome, man. Brings crazy nerds like that back into reality.
Yeah. Well, I love that. He's getting his Viking count up so quickly he'll be able to get back into his medevacs, because a lot of times we've seen Terrans have problems where, my opponent blinked up as I was running away, killed 2 of my medevacs. Now I'm barely able to heal. Things aren't going well. But Creator, getting Immortals now, getting his Zealot charge, getting upgrades, and Storm.
Now,
great switch.
We were talking about how it's very important that Protoss doesn't lose the Colossus, but it's also important that Terran doesn't lose the medevacs, because if you lose the medevacs, you can't heal your army, you have to go back into making medevacs, and then Protoss can seesaw that back into his favor with the Colossus count.
Exactly. That's why the 2-star port is such a great move.
Okay, here we go.
This is
he may go for a Catane here.
This is a great timing.
Actually, you know what? There's not enough stalkers in place here.
Oh, man. No, there's not. And it looks like he is going to start losing these right away. And there we go. MVP stimming in. The Zealots coming out. Charge is not done. Storm is not done. And MVP is doing a great job using up some of his feedbacks on those medevacs.
It's over, actually. And MVP just ran over him.
Perfect time.
Yeah. Here's the issue, is that Protoss went for a tech tree with the Templar Archives, and that does not allow Protoss to have enough stalkers out to protect the Colossus.
Exactly.
GG.
He had one small area of weakness in there, Tasteless, and MVP struck exactly at that time. he found out. He's like, oh, you're switching into high templars off of 2 base. This is, you are, as you said, you're not going to have enough stalkers. He goes in with that little extra Viking count. Part of that was having that extra starport up, and he hit at just exactly the right time.
They love I Am MVP. We too love I Am MVP.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
Creator doesn't, I tell you that.
Some angry hater nerds at home. I don't like his play style. Well, that was a pretty straightforward game. It was basically a game where it was a small mistake in the unit composition coming from Protoss.
Well, I think
Terran
it was a
identified
calculated risk.
You think so?
No, here's the thing. I love that tech switch. Normally you do it off more bases, but he's trying to get it off 2.
He saw
because
the
he's
2 starports, one with the reactor.
Did he see it?
Yeah, he saw it with the observer.
Oh.
It's okay. But he saw that and he's like, well,
I think that may be also what made him switch. He's like, well, you're investing heavily into Vikings. I guess I should switch over. But he did not have enough to hold it. It was such a quick switch, that game.
It's tricky, when you go for 2 base with Colossus, because the solution to it is very simple. And if the Colossus, even though it's like mobile, it can go up hills and stuff, it can be tricky to control and not let it get sniped by Vikings. It's the funny thing about Protoss units is Zealots, the Colossus, the Stalkers, they'll kind of end up moving in a little bit of a different pattern. The Colossus can walk over stuff, the Stalkers might end up moving around.
It likes to be up at the front with the Stalkers, with the Zealots behind.
Yeah.
It's like totally non-intuitive.
Usually the Zealots are actually in the center of the Stalker ball,
They're like the baby lobsters being moved across the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, exactly, yes. So, we're going to go into game number 2, and I hope that Creator can bring us a better game here. He didn't play bad or poorly, but...
And again, I like that he chose that risk to take, and it was a risk, but he's like, well, I think that this is a good counter, but didn't have quite enough units to do that yet.
It's too bad. So going on to game number 2, Creator can't be feeling good about that. He knows, obviously, what he did was wrong, trying to get the Templar archives. I said that in a bit of a grim way, like what he did was wrong.
Yeah. No, it reminded me of children and stuff. Like, do you understand what you did is wrong? He's like, yes, MVP.
The countdown started head-to-head here. MVP against Creator. Terran against Protoss. Champion of GSL previous seasons against a young rookie. Can this young rookie come back? Or is, history going to repeat itself here and MVP move on, taking out these lesser-known players, these newer guys? Let's find out here at the GSL.